लेकिन इस वक्त की बड़ी खबर सामने आ रही है। नोटबंदी पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का बड़ा फैसला सामने आया है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सभी 38 याचिकाओं को खारिज किया है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की संविधान पीठ का बड़ा फैसला यहां पर सामने आया है। नोटबंदी पर सरकार का फैसला जो है वो सही है। हाई कोर्ट की तरफ से आपको माफ कीजिएगा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरफ से ये कहा गया है। तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरफ से बड़ा फैसला नोटबंदी पर सामने आया है।
That may be proposed and carried out. 4. Considerations for proposed measures of demonetization illustrative. 5. Process or route to be followed to carry out demonetization. And 6. Applicability of subsection 2 of section 26 of the Reserve Bank of India Act. There I have stated that when the demonetization originates by way of a recommendation by the Central Board of the Bank, it is section 26(2) which
ये अपने घर के पास सिर्फ देसी मुर्गियों को पाल कर हर साल 6 लाख कमा रहे हैं। आप भी ये करना चाहते हो तो फ्रीडम ऐप को अभी डाउनलोड कीजिए।
But when the proposal for demonetization originates from the central government, as in the instant case, it is not under section 26(2) of the Act. It is to be by way of a legislation. And if legislation is not the way, in the sense there is need for secrecy, then it is ordinance.
तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट की ये तस्वीरें हम आप तक पहुंचा रहे हैं, जहां
Since I have accepted the contention of the learned Attorney General appearing for Union of India in relation to the power of the central government for initiating the process of demonetization, the next question would be whether the central government can, on initiating the process of demonetization, proceed to issue a gazette notification to demonetize any or all series of any or all denomination of banknotes on the strength of subsection 2 of section 26 of the Act. Consideration of this issue would also answer the contention of learned senior counsel for the petitioners regarding subsection 2 of section 26 of the Act being unguided and arbitrary in nature and hence unconstitutional. To this end, the following aspects have to be examined. A. Whether demonetization can be initiated and carried out by the central government by issuing a notification in the Gazette of India as per subsection 2 of section 26 of the Act. B. Extent of the central government's power to carry out demonetization, that is, whether all series of all denominations may be demonetized. As held herein before, the proposal for demonetization can emanate either from the central government or from the central board of the bank. It is, however, necessary to contrast the proposal for demonetization initiated by the central government with that initiated by the central board of the bank. When the bank recommends demonetization, it is, in my view, only for a particular series of banknotes of a particular denomination, as specified in the recommendation made under subsection 2 of section 20 of the Act. The word any in subsection 2 cannot be read to mean all. If read as specified or particular, as against all, in my view, it would not suffer from arbitrariness or suffer from unguided discretion being given to the central bank of the board of the bank. On the other hand, in my view, the central government has the power to demonetize all series of banknotes of all denominations if the need for such a measure arises. It cannot be restricted to such powers in such manner as the central board of the bank is under the above provision. This is because such power is not exercised under subsection 2 of section 26 of the Act, but is exercised notwithstanding the said provision by the central government. Therefore, demonetization of banknotes at the behest of the central government is a far more serious issue, having wider ramifications on the economy and on the citizens, as compared to demonetization of banknotes of a given series of a given denomination on the recommendation of the central board of the bank by issuance of a gazette notification by the central government. Therefore, in my considered view, the powers of the central government being vast, the same have to be exercised only through a plenary legislation or a legislative process rather than by an executive act by the issuance of a notification in the Gazette of India. it is necessary that the parliament, which consists of the representatives of the people of this country, discusses the matter and thereafter approves and supports the implementation of the scheme of demonetization. The central government, as already noted, could have several compulsions for initiating demonetization of the bank notes already in circulation in the economy, and it could do so even in the absence of a recommendation as per subsection 2 of section 26 Act of the Central Board of the Bank. On its bank to demonetize the bank notes, the advice or opinion of the central bank, which has to be consulted, may not always be in support of the proposal of the central government, as in the year 1978. The central board may give a negative opinion or a concurring opinion. In either of the situations, the central government may proceed to demonetize the bank notes, but only through a legislative process, either through an ordinance followed by a legislation if the parliament is not in session, or by a plenary legislation before the parliament, and depending upon the passage of the bill as an act, carry out its proposal of demonetization. Then they have given the reasons for the same, and I have said why it should be through the legislative process. A parliament is often referred to as a nation in miniature. It is the basis for democracy. A parliament provides representation of the people of a country and makes their voices heard. Without a parliament, a democracy cannot thrive. Every democratic country needs a parliament for the smooth conduct of its governance and to give meaning to democracy in the true sense. Parliament, which is the center of our democracy, cannot be left aloof in a matter of such importance. Its views on the subject of demonetization are critical and of utmost importance. Nobody states that the impugned Gazette notification dated 8 November 2016 of the central government was published on the initiation of a proposal of demonetization by the Central Board of the Bank. Proposal for demonetization was initiated by the central government by a letter dated 7 November 2016, addressed by the Finance Secretary to the Governor of the Bank. The central government, having obtained the advice of the bank on its proposal, proceeded to issue the Gazette notification on the very next day, dated 8 November 2016. The same was followed by an ordinance, and thereafter an enactment was passed.
ये तस्वीरें हम आप तक पहुंचा रहे हैं। आपको बता दें कि कुल 58 याचिकाएं दर्ज की गई थी, जिन्हें खारिज कर दिया गया है और इसी के साथ केंद्र सरकार के फैसले को सही माना है। नोटबंदी पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ये अहम सुनवाई चल रही थी और उस पर अहम फैसला लिया गया है। बड़ा फैसला यहां पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरफ से, और 58 कुल याचिकाएं जो दायर की गई थी उन्हें खारिज किया गया है।
ये अपने घर के पास सिर्फ देसी मुर्गियों को पाल कर हर साल 6 लाख कमा रहे हैं। आप भी ये करना चाहते हो तो फ्रीडम ऐप को अभी डाउनलोड कीजिए।